Hi everyone, this is Gwen from My Spiritual Butterfly. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher and a transformational life coach as well. Today I wanted to talk to you more about the law of attraction. So I went to the latest Abraham Hicks workshop in Amsterdam. This was in May 2023, if you're watching this a few years down the line. And so I wanted to talk about the things that really stuck out for me, personally for me, at the workshop. And that might differ to what anyone else experienced, but these were my aha moments and my kind of biggest takeaways really from the 2-day workshop in Amsterdam, which was just brilliant, absolutely fabulous energy. I have seen Abraham Hicks before. I saw them in 2008. There was like 200 people there, I think. Maybe 100, 150. I also saw them in 2014, both times in London. So in 2014, there's probably like 500 people. And then I saw them in Amsterdam in May, just gone, May now. And that was like 2,000 people. So it's just incredible to see how they are growing in popularity and that their message is spreading even more widely than ever before globally. I love that. Definitely want to see them again when they come back to Europe next year. One person had a question about why is it that, one minute they're doing really well and then things just kind of get ruined, and why can't things be good all the time? Abraham Hicks' answer to that was just amazing. It's exactly what I kind of know to understand, so it just resonated. So what Abraham Hicks described, which is Esther obviously, was this kind of up-down motion. But it's not like this, it's not horizontal, it's vertical, it's an upward trajectory. So we're going up, down, but if you were to draw a line, it would be an upward trend, So the trend is upwards. We have these little dips, but the trend is that we're always progressing, we're always moving up. The universe is always expanding, and therefore, because we are the universe too, the universe is in us, we're also always expanding. So when we think we're going through a downtime and something's going really bad for us, and we feel like we've taken 2 steps back, 1 step forward, if we have the bigger picture, the bird's eye view, we would see that in fact, we're always actually moving in this upward direction. Things are always improving for us. So I absolutely love that. The second thing that kind of caught my mind, I'm looking at my notes here, was how we get through, not so much why, but how do we get through the contrast. And she introduces a new concept of finding the closest match to the vibration you want to achieve. So your inner being is already there. Once we have a desire, once we've launched a desire, there's something that we want, either consciously where we've said we want something, or unconsciously when we say we don't want something, we're automatically asking for something better in life. And so when we do that asking and we feel we're in a downward moment, we're going through contrast, what Abraham Hicks is saying is that we should find the closest match, anything that kind of feels good. It reminded me a bit of talking about gratitude, really, just being grateful for where you are, for your current moment, and looking for anything which is just a little bit of a match to the direction you want to go in. So just find the closest match. It doesn't have to be a really big leap. The closest match is kind of what we're looking for with that. So yeah, that really resonated. I like that new way of talking about it, just finding the nearest match to the thing that you want. I really like that. So that's the second thing. The third thing was about heartbreak. So there's a really beautiful girl that came up, beautiful in her heart, and she'd been through some heartbreak and she was still feeling the emotions of that, still feeling really sad about that. And so I was asking Abraham Hicks how to kind of get through that heartbreak. And Abraham said, soothing is solving. So another kind of new phrase for me anyway, I hadn't heard them say before. Soothing is solving. It's something I teach my coaching clients as well. So when we're looking at negative self-talk, trying to go through to a more soothing narrative is better than trying to leap all the way across to that I hate myself, I love myself type thing. So we don't want that deep polarity, but just being able to soothe it, it's still solving because you're no longer playing the record of the negative narrative. You're no longer saying that. So if she's able to say things like, I'm grateful for the rendezvous, I know this is moving me closer to the right person for me, it's helping me to understand what I really want in a relationship. And also things like, we had a fun time, it was good, so not regretting the rendezvous. So lots of little lovely soothing statements like that to help people, get over someone if they're going through heartbreak at the moment. Again, people are trying to tell you to cheer up and, someone better is coming, but we need to self-soothe in order to kind of get to that place. So I love that. So soothing is solving. Love that. So the fourth thing is how to close the gap between us and our inner being. So that was someone's question. How big is the gap between us and our inner being? Can we close the gap? And Abraham basically said that we can never really close the gap. As soon as we launch a rocket of desire, as soon as we have something that we want, our inner being is there, living it, doing it, breathing it, holding it there for us and calling us to it. And so, when we're in the state of allowing and we go towards the thing that we want, that our inner being is experiencing and living and holding for us, we move closer. But from this new vantage point, it's almost like getting to the top of the mountain, you can suddenly see that there's more out there and you think, oh, actually, I'd like to go over there. And that's what happens. So there's this perpetual kind of desire for more, to be more, have more, not necessarily things. It might be state of beings, it might be seeking enlightenment, seeking peace, forgiveness, but whatever it might be, we move forward towards that, we kind of get there, but then we launch another rocket because we can see there's more. We will always have a gap between us and our inner being, basically. That's kind of what she's saying. There will always be this gap. Which is fine and it's understandable because our inner being is always pulling us forward, so we'll never really close the gap. So that was really interesting. I really like that. The fifth thing, a guy had a question about, he had this vision of who he wanted to be and what he wanted to do in life, and he felt that he was good enough at the moment, but he didn't feel that he was good enough to kind of get to where he wanted to be at the moment. He didn't feel phenomenal. He felt okay, he could do what he needed to do. And so he wondered when he would be ready to be able to do the thing that he wanted to do. I don't know what it was, he didn't say. And Abraham said that in every moment we're phenomenal. In every moment, every now moment is a phenomenal moment. And so we just make peace with that moment, grateful for where we are, what we can see, what we can learn, but know that now will always be later, if that makes sense. So we will always be yearning to be somewhere. And we will get there, but we have to kind of also make peace with where we are along the way, see how far we've come, see that again with gratitude, but know that every moment is a phenomenal moment. Every moment you've done the best you can do in that moment. You are the best you can be in that moment, but you're still kind of moving and progressing. So I guess maybe similar to the last thing, but it was just interesting the way we just need to make peace with ourselves. We're always thinking that we're not good enough. We always have imposter syndrome. These things come up where we have that self-doubt that we can do the thing we want to do, or even if we're doing it, we always feel like we're tricking people, that we're an imposter and we're not really, people are going to suss us out. And we need to remember we are always phenomenal in that moment. And the final one, number 6, is it was a lady who was involved in a polyamorous relationship with 2 other women, and she was talking about how when it's great it's really great, but when it's not great it's awful. And she was the one that kind of brought the 2 of them together. She started in a relationship with one person, and then that was going on for a few years, and then she introduced or met, fell in love with, and then brought together the 3rd person, and the 3 of them are in love, but they are constantly having these up and down moments. She was wanting to know how she can just bring more kind of stability and relationship with the 3. And Abraham said something which applies to anyone in a relationship, not just if there's 3 of you or 2 of you or 4 of you or however many. So it was really interesting. So Abraham basically said that the problem is, particularly in relationships in general, is that we meet someone, we fall in love, and then we start lining up and calibrating with them and aligning with them and treating them basically as our source. And that was never the intention. When we remember that source is the source, our inner being is the person we should be looking to, or the thing we should be looking to align with, the thing we should be looking to calibrate to, then things will go a lot better. It's almost like if you're getting in the car and you set your GPS to a moving object. You're never going to get there. So you need to set it to something which is stable. Source, your inner being, is all pure love. It doesn't have up and downs, doesn't have mood swings, doesn't have bad days. Always, always pure love. So that's where we should set our sights. That's where we should set our GPS. That's what we should set or plan to align to, not any individual. And when we do that, that's why we have the up and down. And then if there's 3 of you involved, then it's even more up and down, because you're calibrating. You're now trying to calibrate to 2 people as opposed to just 1 person, which is difficult enough. So that was a real interesting thing to say. And the lady then said, oh, should I just be doing all my things every day and keeping balance and trying to help them and guide them and talk to them about your work? And Abraham said that, you know, you're trying to be the law of attraction for them. That's what she said. Do not be the law of attraction for them. You're not there to be the law of attraction. You know, the law of attraction is there, it's always working. If you follow and focus on you and your journey and your connection with Source, being the best you can be in this situation, they will naturally align with you. They will naturally do that, but you can't force that situation on them by telling them what they should do, what they should think, because then that's you trying to be the law of attraction. Yeah, and I love that too. So they were the 6 things that really resonated with me, and I hope they resonated with you or helped someone else as well. If you have any more questions about the law of attraction, I'll try and answer them as best I can. Please leave a question below. As I said, I've been following the law of attraction for 15 years, for such a long time, and there's still more that I'm learning. You know, I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have, so do leave them below. Please be sure to subscribe and like, just to see more videos about this subject, about the law of attraction, also about Reiki. They're the 2 main fields that I love and specialize in. If you have any comments, put them below. Any questions, put them below. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.